Hi, friends. Welcome back to Jackson, English Stories. I'm really glad you're here. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wanted to say something in English, but the words just wouldn't come out? You knew what you wanted to say. You'd even practiced it before. But in that moment, your mind went blank, and your heart started to race. I've been there, and I want to tell you a story about it. Because that moment, the one when I finally spoke English, even though I was terrified, changed everything. And maybe it'll help you too. So if you've ever felt nervous speaking English, if you've ever stayed quiet because you were afraid of saying it wrong, or if you've ever looked around and thought, everyone speaks better than me, then this video is for you. Not a grammar lesson, not a list of vocabulary, just a real story from someone who's been in your shoes. So, let's begin the journey together. I remember the day clearly. I had just started my new job. Nothing fancy, just a small cafe downtown. I was excited, nervous, and, well, I was the only person there who wasn't fluent in English. That first week I stayed quiet. I listened. I nodded. I smiled a lot. And when someone spoke to me, I panicked inside. I was afraid of sounding stupid, of using the wrong word, of saying something people would laugh at. Then came Tuesday. It was busy. Customers were everywhere. And the manager, who was always in a rush, pointed at me and said, "Can you take the next order?" My heart dropped. I wasn't ready. I wanted to say no. I wanted to disappear. But the customer was already standing there, a woman in her 30s. She smiled at me kindly. I looked at her. I looked at the register. I looked at my hands, and they were shaking. I opened my mouth. Nothing. Then I remembered the sentence I had practiced at home. "Hi, what would you like to order?" So I said it. Not perfectly, not confidently, but I said it. And you know what happened? She smiled. She answered. She didn't laugh. No one laughed. The world didn't stop. No one even noticed how nervous I was. And in that tiny moment, something inside me shifted. I realized, maybe I don't need to speak perfectly. Maybe I just need to speak. Since that day, everything changed. Not all at once. I still made mistakes. I still forgot words. But I stopped hiding. And now, I want to tell you something. If you're afraid to speak, it doesn't mean you're bad at English. It just means you're human. We're all afraid of something. But courage isn't the absence of fear. It's showing up anyway. So today, I want to invite you to show up. Not perfectly, just honestly. Because the day you decide to speak, even if your voice shakes, is the day everything starts to change. And in the next part of this story, we'll meet someone else who felt the same way and found their own moment of courage. But for now, take a breath. You're not alone. You're exactly where you need to be, and I'm glad you're here. Let me tell you about someone I met not long ago. Her name is Amina. She's from Morocco. She's 32 years old, a mother of two, and she works at a small clothing shop in the city. When we first met, she told me something I'll never forget. She said, "I can write in English. I can read. But when I try to speak, it's like my voice disappears." And I knew exactly what she meant. Amina had been learning English for almost 6 years. She watched videos. She read articles. She even understood native speakers when they talked slowly. But when someone looked her in the eye and said, "Hi, how are you?" she froze. She wasn't afraid of English. She was afraid of being judged. "People will think I'm stupid," she told me. "They'll laugh at my accent. They'll hear my mistakes." And I looked at her and said, "Amina, I used to feel the same." Because here's the truth. Most English learners don't struggle with grammar. They struggle with fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of being embarrassed. Fear of not being good enough. But fear and failure are not the same. So we started working together. Not with textbooks. Not with long vocabulary lists. Just with real conversations. I asked her one question every day. "What did you do this morning?" The first time she said nothing. The second time she said, "Wake up, breakfast." And that was enough. Day by day, she added more. "I woke up at 7. I made breakfast for my kids. We had bread and tea." She still made mistakes. But she was trying. And something magical happened. She started smiling when she spoke. Not because her English was perfect, but because she felt free. And one day, she came to me with the biggest smile on her face. "I talked to a tourist today," she said. "He asked for directions. I answered. I helped him." She had her moment, just like mine. And maybe, just maybe, you're ready for yours. So let me ask you, have you ever told yourself, "I can't speak English"? If so, I want you to pause and replace that thought with this: "I'm learning. I'm trying. I'm allowed to speak." Write that down. Say it out loud. Because just like Amina, and just like me, your story is still being written, and you get to decide how it goes next. So let's make it real. Let's turn this story into something you can do right now. First, let's take a breath. Slow, steady. Just feel the moment. Now grab a notebook or open the notes on your phone. I want you to write one sentence. That's it. One sentence about your day, in English. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Maybe, "I woke up late," or "I drank coffee and watched the rain," or "I went to work. I felt tired." Whatever feels true. Got it? Great. Now, say it out loud. Right where you are. Just speak it. quietly if you need to, but use your voice. You might feel strange. You might feel silly. That's okay. Because this isn't about being fluent. It's about being brave. And here's something important. Repeat it. Say that same sentence again. Slower this time. Feel the words. Then, try adding one more sentence. I woke up late. I missed the bus. Or, I drank coffee and watched the rain. It made me feel calm. See what's happening? You're not just practicing. You're creating. Now let's try something else. Repeat after me. I give myself permission to speak English today. Say it once. Then again. Then one more time. That's not just a sentence. That's a promise. Because fluency doesn't begin with perfect grammar. It begins with permission. So here's your challenge. For the next 3 days, speak one sentence in English, out loud, every morning. It can be simple. It can be messy. It just has to be real. You can even start by writing it in your language first, then thinking about the meaning, not translating word for word, just getting the idea, and saying it in English. This is called thinking in English, not translating, just expressing. Try it. And every time you speak, remind yourself, I don't need to be perfect. I need to be present. You're doing more than practicing. You're becoming. And I'm proud of you for that. So let's keep going, one brave sentence at a time. Maybe today's story reminded you of something important. That fluency doesn't come from perfection. It comes from permission. Permission to try, to stumble, to smile, to speak. And if you're still here, still watching, still listening, I want you to know that means something. It means you care. It means you're trying. It means you're showing up. And showing up matters more than you think. You don't need to be fluent to belong. You don't need to speak perfectly to be understood. You don't need to know every word to start a conversation. You just need to be you. So here's my invitation. Take what you've heard today and make it yours. Practice that one sentence. Write that small note to yourself. Speak to your mirror. Whisper to your morning coffee. Because every time you use English, even just a little, you're writing your own story. And I hope you'll keep writing. Tell me, what's one small thing you'll do this week? One brave moment? One sentence you'll try? Leave a comment if you'd like. Not for me, but for you. To make it real. And if this video helped you even just a little, maybe someone else needs it too. So feel free to share it. And if you'd like more stories, more practice, and more gentle reminders that you are enough, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you here. Until next time, keep learning, keep speaking, and remember, your voice matters in any language. And I believe in you. I hope you believe in you too.